My heifers are calving. They're early, but they're calving, and so I got busy with that. And
well, word's getting around. Hey, if I was you, sooner is better than later around here, okay?
I had to pull a couple heifer calves, and they were a little bigger than I'd like them.
Why do they get big? Just in there too long, or genetics? Or
It's a lot of it genetics. We breed that out of them and of heifers, but these calves are probably 80 pounds, and that's a little bigger than I like for the heifers. I got some big framed heifers, though, but which is okay to talk about a heifer that way.
you can say it about a cow, but not a lady.
That's right.
She's a big framed lady.
Big framed, yeah. You should have no trouble birthing.
Even if you have quintuplets, I think you'll be fine.
Gosh. Yeah. One thing, though, about it, with all this moisture that we have this year, all the snow and stuff, boy, the water was running again yesterday all over the place. We're going to have early grass this year, which is good. That's big news. The first hint of any warmth or any prolonged periods of sunshine is going to get that grass popping out of the ground. Mm-hmm. Last year, it never rained until May the 19th.
Wow.
And we had no grass because of the year before. The fall before was very dry, and there was no grass. And there were a lot of guys on the verge last year of getting rid of some of their animals and culling their herds. In fact, a lot of guys did. And I remember on the 19th of May, because I was at a funeral, it started raining that day, and it rained for 3 weeks. So we finally got grass, but it was almost the 1st of June till it was palatable.
Boy, there's a country song just waiting to be written in there somewhere.
There really is.
I was on a funeral that day, and then it rained for 3 weeks, and I still miss you.
Yeah. And with the Olympics going on in Moscow, there's been all kinds of problems. There's been protests because of the banning of gay marriages. There's been 65-degree temperatures that is causing fog and problems for the game. And then there was the panty protest. Lacy lingerie is banned in Russia now starting July 1st. The ban would outlaw any underwear containing less than 6% cotton. The Russian Textile Business Union said 80% of the underwear sold in Russia is now imported. So the ban would boost Russia's panty industry. Over the weekend, 30 women protesters in Kazakhstan, also covered by the ban, were busted because they were wearing lace panties on their heads. They were shouting, "Freedom to panties! Freedom to panties!" in Moscow. The manager of the lingerie shop said their lacy underthings are selling out. They can't even keep them in the store.
Oh, my God, that's oppression.
But in Russia, no more lacy lingerie over there. And
not like we were moving there anyway, but now it's completely out of the question.
Yeah, Russia. Who would want to go there?
Jeez.
And Ted Ligety won the giant slalom at the Sochi Olympic Games with a dominating performance today. He becomes the first American man to win 2 Olympic gold medals in alpine skiing. No Olympic man has ever won 2. Hot Ligety dog. He won 2 gold medals. Get it, Mark? Ligety? Hot Ligety dog. He's got 2 golds. Does she mention Columbus in this Why Haven't I Heard From You, or is it Alexander Graham Bell?
An old boy named Bell invented the contraption we know so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one with Columbus, that was Mel McDaniel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Stand on it,
yep.
Yeah. Because that's another holiday that we talked about on Monday.
Mel McDaniel has a holiday?
No, that
it's
everybody
about
gets.
Damn time.
People get off for Columbus Day. Hell, Ben Franklin did more than Columbus. I mean, he invented all kinds of stuff. Electricity, bifocals, post office. Hell, we don't have Ben Franklin Day. That's another 3-day holiday we ought to have, right?
I like it.
Ben Franklin Day, where everybody can spend a Ben Franklin on their day off. One of my favorite new artists, if I had to pick an artist that has only been around about 5 years or so in country music right now, one of my favorites would be Dierks Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
Dierks Bentley.
Do you realize he's been out 11 years, not 5?
Dierks Bentley?
Yeah.
Has he?
I know.
Okay, if I had to pick a favorite artist From the past, say, like 11 years.
There we go.
Okay, it would be Dirks Bentley.
I like him too, for the
Okay.
same reasons. Today is not the day to hit the old man up for a raise in your allowance. I'm just telling you up front.
Somebody's going to be called a butthole today on our show. I don't know who it's going to be. There's going to be somebody.
Ooh.
God, I had a heifer lay on a calf last night and killed it. And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
So bad. I had 4 heifers go last night. I was up at 1:30 in the morning with 2 of them, getting them in. And it was at 1:30 was doing fine because it had calved earlier in the evening. Great calf up, sucking, loved it. She was a nut, but she loved it. I go out there at 4 o'clock this morning, and there's 2 back legs sticking out from under her brisket. She laid on top of it, smothered it, and killed it. God, if I'd have had a gun, I'd have shot her dead.
And that would have been the end of
Graveyard dead right in the shed. And I'd have drug her outside in front of all the other ones. Said, any of you even think about laying on a calf, this is what's going to happen. You're freezer material.
Jeez.
God, that just makes me mad.
Well, you got to do so many things right. You got to get so many things to go your way anyway, and then it's so easy for something to go wrong.
I got her inside the barn. I got my heater on with all the other ones that I put in because the wind was just brutal. It was cold, freezing them up. I got her in a pen that's 30 feet long and 15 feet wide. She had the whole thing to herself. Laid on it. Killed it.
Well, she won't be around next year, will she?
No, she won't. Next year?
Who wants to go for a ride? Who wants to go for a ride? Well, we're going to go ahead and...
I grew
Listen
that
to
heifer.
Paul a little more.
I grew that heifer for 2 years before I could make a dime on it.
Yeah.
Finally get a chance to make a dime on it, and she lays on the profits. That's it. I'm done. I'll go broke now. I lost that one. That one calf was my profit margin for the year. That's
Well,
all
that must
there
be
is.
nice to have a
That's
profit
right.
margin.
That's all there is in agriculture. You could have 10,000 head of cattle, and only one calf is the profit margin. That's it. No profit for this year.
Those are tough times.
It's not going to be a good Christmas at my house.
But it's going to be a good day on the radio. I feel it.
I've already apologized to Mark today, folks, for biting his head off. And I'm going to apologize to you folks this morning because I'm pissy today since I lost that heifer calf. I should not have lost that heifer calf. That cow, that heifer shouldn't have laid on that calf and killed it, and it put me in a bad mood. So
What number is the cow?
204.
204. This is nearly the end for you.
I should probably go home because I'm going to get us both fired before the end of the day. It would be in our best interest financially if I would just take the day off.
Mark, boy, you were at cat country, 26 years? What happened? Boy, one bad cow.
204 did it. A judge down in South Florida near Miami is holding a hearing on a motion by the Associated Press and other media outlets that want the police videos made shortly after Justin Dweeber's recent arrest. Now, his attorneys want the judge to prevent the release of those videos until his lawyers can review them for potentially inappropriate material. The media said there's no legal basis to withhold videos of this 19-year-old pop singer taken at Miami Beach Police Station after his arrest. Dweeber has pleaded not guilty to his misdemeanor charges of DUI, resisting arrest, and driving with an expired license. How could he plead not guilty of driving with an expired license when his license is expired? You can't.
Well,
You want to be able to plead.
Can.
You want to be able to plead DA. That's what I am, Your Honor. I'm a DA. I was speeding in a rental car without a license. DA.
Hi, cat country.
Hey, is Paul there?
Yeah, this is Paul.
Hey, Paul, you forgot to mention the $400+ a day it costs in fuel just to run that combine.
Oh, yeah, anyway.
Or when it breaks down, they guarantee that it's going to cost $500 or more to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people just don't get it, do they?
No, of course not. And I can tell you my husband farms and ranches and has been off the ranch for 6 days in the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's 365 days a year, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Well, and if he's like most of the farmers and ranchers I know, he's mad he had to leave those 6.
Yeah, and that was all for work when he was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no different than anybody else at the end of the year. We all end up with the same amount.
0.
Yep, that's right. 0.
Well, if you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're good, you end up, you break even, and it's a way of life.
And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer. I need somebody with arms strong enough to wrestle a calf and yet gentle enough to deliver his own grandchild. Somebody to call hogs, tame cantankerous machinery, come home hungry, have to wait lunch until his wife's done feeding visiting ladies, then tell the ladies to be sure and come back real soon and mean it. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to sit up all night with a newborn colt and watch it die, then dry his eyes and say, maybe next year. I need somebody who can shape an axe handle from a persimmon sprout, shoe a horse with a hunk of car tire, who can make harness out of hay wire, feed sacks, and shoe scraps, who planting time and harvest season will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, and then pain in from tractor back, put in another 72 hours. So God made a farmer. God had to have somebody willing to ride the ruts at double speed to get the hay in ahead of the rain clouds and yet stop in midfield and race to help when he sees the first smoke from a neighbor's place. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody strong enough to clear trees and heave bales, yet gentle enough to yean lambs and wean pigs and tend the pink-combed pullets, who will stop his mower for an hour to splint the broken leg of a meadowlark. It had to be somebody who'd plow deep and straight and not cut corners. Somebody to seed, weed, feed, breed, and rake and disc and plow and plant and tie the fleece and strain the milk and replenish the self-feeder and finish a hard week's work with a 5-mile drive to church. Somebody who'd bail a family together with the soft, strong bonds of sharing, who would laugh and then sigh and then reply with smiling eyes when his son says that he wants to spend his life doing what Dad does. So God made a farmer.
Pretty good stuff there. From Paul Harvey, and everything in there is Paul to a T, except for the part about where they say come back real soon and mean it.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. Well, thanks a lot.